So we got to be honest here. The WNBA media have completely failed Caitlin Clark. They have completely failed Caitlin Clark as a human being. Because everything is on her. As in, random Twitter account says something about another player, it's Caitlin Clark's fault. Random Twitter account says they're gonna, or implies they're gonna get people to show up and, harm Caitlin Clark, and a WNBA player interacts with laughing emojis, is Caitlin Clark's fault. Caitlin Clark gets cheap shotted, and the person who cheap shots said person gets hate online. Caitlin Clark's fault. Caitlin Clark stands there. If Caitlin Clark exists, Caitlin Clark's fault. So again, I'm going to talk about this one right here. Like, obviously we've got the Sid Colson quote. I don't think it was a play. Like, it obviously was a dirty play. Like, Lisa Leslie's the only person who at least has had the balls to come out and say, yeah, it was what it was. But by the way, everyone involved in the WNBA, everyone involved, in basketball that is not involved in the WNBA can admit, yeah, this was a cheap shot. It's like when Draymond Green makes sure he flails back and closes his fist right as he punches somebody. It's like saying, oh yeah, Draymond does he doesn't get the benefit of the doubt. They all know it's intentional. And obviously, where is it? From this here, at the end, it was really annoying. This is really annoying when Shanae said this. I'm like, I get what she's trying to defend, Alyssa Thomas. I don't know what, because, yeah, no one deserves to get the online abuse. But then she says this.
She's dealing with a heightened level of to make their issues known, got up and kept going.
First of all, that's a lie.
And so that's why I have a problem, because if you're looking at the reaction even to this day, it breaks my heart, because players, even in Alyssa Thomas's caliber, whether you think she did it intentionally or not, she's dealing with a heightened level of vitriol right now.
Basically, you know what? Even if it's intentional, it doesn't matter, because she's dealing with a heightened level of vitriol. Just is it right that everyone has those opinions? No, but I'm sorry, it is, it's not like I hate saying this. I can't even show this. There are newspapers that title when David Beckham got himself sent off by kicking an Argentinian player. There are newspaper titles that say hate mob people literally posted. It's wrong. Obviously it was wrong. You can look up at David Beckham in 1998. It's all wrong. But we got to be very clear here. This is not an isolated incident, nor is it Caitlin Clark's fault. That is the unfortunate thing that happens when you are in the public eye and you do something dumb. It is the shit thing. It is the reason why I am so happy that my job is to talk from the comfort of a room in the back of my, in a room in the garden of my house. And I'm not on any of these networks, because let's be real, Chiney said something dumb. She's going to get hate. Let's be very clear. Chiney Awumake reported the dolphin noises as fact last year, and then had to come out and apologize. She basically heavily implied again that all Indiana Fever fans are racist. And by the way, that was so disgusting, because the fans were people of all ages and races. A lot of them kids. A lot of them young kids of all races. And I'm sorry, it's not fair. It was not fair on those kids. Could you imagine? Obviously, they're not chronically online, but could you imagine being 13, 14 years old and you're basically going out of the way, you're gone to a game, you thought it was a great game, and suddenly, I don't know, this narrative is happening online, you go into school the next day and you're a racist because you went to a basketball game. Does Chiney Awumake give a shit about the people that narrative affected? No, she doesn't. She doesn't care. She couldn't care less. Because let's be very clear. If you are Caitlin Clark, if you are a teammate of Caitlin Clark, does Chiney Awumake give a shit about all the stuff that was said to Maisha Hines-Allen on Monday? No. And all of this just empowers players and emboldens players who go for Caitlin Clark, because they know they can commit the most egregious cheap shot imaginable, and the media will make you the victim. Let's be very clear. Alyssa Thomas is probably a bigger star. Like, her name is bigger now than ever before. Who's going to be the next Dejanay Carrington? Going out of their way to be as physical as possible with Caitlin to try, get some brownie points from the Caitlin Clark haters. Because let's be very clear here. Like, it is a tactic being a quote unquote Caitlin Clark op. Relevancy. You will get brand deals. You will make money. If you punch Caitlin Clark, Reebok's probably giving you a shoe deal. Let's be very clear on that. And I tweeted this out and I stand by this. The media is incredibly lucky Caitlin Clark is made of elastic. I know she got injured last year, but that was soft tissue injury because some dumbass trainers had her bulk up probably 25 pounds in an off season. I said because if any other player took half the shot she's taken as a rookie year, that players have been empowered to throw at her by the media, they would have been seriously injured. I don't understand how Caitlin Clark hasn't fucked her ankle. I don't understand how she hasn't. Markieff Morris' career never recovered from taking a Kennedy Carter type cheap shot from Jokic. She's taken 2. Caitlin's taken 2 blindside hits knocked on her ass when she didn't even see it. Twice it's happened to Caitlin. Diamond to Shields, 3 times if you consider Diamond to Shields shoving her from behind. And by the way, Diamond to Shields shoved Caitlin from behind, flagrant 1. Should it have been a flagrant? I've said this. Flagrant 1, maybe flagrant 2. The possession before on an inbound, Caitlin tried to make a cut and Diamond to Shields got her from behind. Flagrant 1, calls a common foul. The possession before that, Caitlin Clark is running a break and Diamond Shields just body checks her. Flagrant 1, calls a common foul. Caitlin Clark was hit with a flagrant 2 and 2 flagrant 1s in a 30-second period by Diamond Shields. She's gotten multiple. Brittany Griner, by the way, did it this year. And Alyssa Thomas did it twice in her rookie year. And there's another one last year, Brittany Griner. Caitlin beat a screen. Brittany Griner clocked her with an elbow. And she's not the only person that takes it when she's trying to get skinny over a screen. Bang. Like, Alyssa Thomas is notorious for it. Like, someone tries to go skinny over a screen. So they kind of bend down a little bit so their head's on your shoulder height. Bang. Alyssa Thomas has gotten Caitlin with 2 of them. Brittany Griner has gotten Caitlin with 2 of them. And she's definitely been hit with one other one. I said here as well. And Alyssa Thomas, you know the Fee Collier shit where someone's coming off a screen and Alyssa Thomas just runs straight through you. Caitlin got hit by 2 of them in her rookie year. She got hit by 2 of them by Alyssa Thomas. Thankfully, because Fee went wide off that screen, her leg was out there and it allowed Alyssa Thomas to plow through her leg. Alyssa Thomas just plowed through Caitlin's body, which is a lot less dangerous than plowing through your leg. Again, I've snapped my MCL, I've torn my left MCL 3 times, 2 of which was because I was moving laterally and somebody plowed full speed through my leg. If someone plows full speed through you, it's gonna fucking knock the wind out of you. But you're probably not gonna get hurt. If someone plows through your leg, you're fucked. And I said she's been hit with at least 30 landing space fouls. At least 30. Once we've got Candace Parker went through her rookie year. Candace was a bigger player, but let's not forget Candace's rookie year. She was baptized. I mean, I'm pretty sure they basically try to take her out via brawl. What was the Sparks shock brawl in it was 2010. Or was it 28? Yeah. On the 28, yeah, I think they tried to take her out via brawl. Where is it? Let's be honest, like this started off with this. Like, you're not going to see much of it, but look at how they started off on Candace Parker. Let's try to take her down. Yeah, let's attempt to punch her and then fall over while attempting to punch her. And then we're going to tackle. Holy shit, they tackled her. So they tried to punch her. She fell over because she missed a punch. And then Candace Parker's trying to get up. Watch what happens to her. She's trying to get up. And then she gets tackled. She goes, fuck me. I'm laughing, but this is awful. This is awful. Like, literally. They just went for it. They started a brawl, but they just went for Candace Parker. Like, it is literally, let's try to go for Candace Parker if at all possible. And let's be very clear here. That is not right. That is not a good thing. I'm laughing at a shock more than thinking it's funny. But yeah, look, it is straight up a thing where people being like, oh, Candace Parker's rookie year. Yeah, that doesn't make it right. And the problem is that the WNBA media has empowered these players, because let's be very clear. Like, Alyssa Thomas is now a victim. Alyssa Thomas has free reign to punch somebody else, by the way. Alyssa Thomas has free reign to punch somebody else. Alyssa Thomas has free reign to go after Caitlin Clark the next time they play. The media has justified, and also, by the way, the media has also justified anyone going after Sophie Cunningham. Like, they're allowed to go after Sophie Cunningham if they want. It's fair game. The media has basically said, you are allowed to commit the most egregious or the most obvious flagrant 2 foul ever. The most obvious flagrant 2 foul ever against Caitlin Clark, and you are now the victim. And it is the easiest thing to do. The easiest way to get the public on your side, or to get the media on your side, is, I mean this shit, punch Caitlin, or go after Caitlin Clark. If you are a WNBA player and you want to make some money and you're irrelevant, go after Caitlin Clark, delete Twitter from your phone, delete Instagram from your phone, and when the league suspends you, have your teammates have your back, and then just sit there not seeing any of the shit that's going to be written about you, and suddenly you've probably made $500,000 from it. Like, I shit you not, there are probably, I've said this plenty of times, like, if you go after Caitlin Clark, there's a shoe deal in it for you. There's a shoe deal in it for you if you go after Caitlin Clark. But yeah, look, it's mad. It's mad, this whole thing. And let's be very clear, the media has empowered WNBA players to go after Caitlin. We can be very clear about that, because it's quote unquote deserved. Like, Paige Bueckers goes to Olivia Miles and says, what you gonna do? Caitlin Clark essentially says the same thing to JC Sheldon. So then Caitlin Clark gets cheap shotted by 3 players on the other team and knocked on her ass by Mabry, to the extent where Mabry apologizes. And then it's Caitlin deserves it. Look at the way she's talking. Paige Bueckers does it. Look, Diana's daughter, hee. Like, they do the same thing. And that's the thing where it's like, Caitlin Clark, I mean this when I say this, Caitlin Clark could solve racism, and she would then get blamed for because she'd solved racism. There are certain things, everything's equal, which I don't even know like how to describe it, but like, you know, something like the processes that are like rightfully there, you know, in the world. And if suddenly if she could have it, if she could, you know, rub a genie lamp and solve racism, they would still find a way to blame whatever problem comes with that on Caitlin Clark. Because let's be very real. That is the thing. And I've said this plenty of times. The media, when she had her stalker, made it a Caitlin Clark problem. When Caitlin Clark's stalker came out, we had people in the media, basically, again, I'm not going to say they said it, but they implied that it's Caitlin Clark's fault because she didn't speak out publicly, or Caitlin Clark needs to speak out publicly. And, you know, if she's not going to speak out publicly, she's not an ally. And then you've got, as we've said, Caitlin Clark hate as a form of allyship. So people think that hating on Caitlin Clark, or people around Caitlin Clark, is a form of allyship. Hence the shit that's being said about Myisha Hines-Allen, and the media won't say anything about that. And I don't care if the media say anything about that. Now, at the end of the day, online discourse is online discourse. But no matter what happens, the Caitlin Clark it's Caitlin Clark's a problem. Sophie Cunningham does not have a filter. For better or for worse, Sophie Cunningham is Sophie Cunningham. Like, Sophie Cunningham is Sophie Cunningham. For better or for worse, she's Sophie Cunningham. And all of a sudden then, Sophie Cunningham speaking is a Caitlin Clark problem. Myisha Hines-Allen standing up for Caitlin Clark is the last 4 letters of the animal raccoon. Apparently, again, I don't know this, but it has been reported by people at the game that is what Alyssa Thomas was saying to Myisha Hines-Allen. Could be wrong, could be right, because there's been no credible reports. Apparently, that's what Myisha Hines-Allen, or Alyssa Thomas calling Myisha Hines-Allen for standing up for Caitlin Clark. And if that is the truth, and the last 4 letters of the animal raccoon is what Alyssa Thomas and the WNBA players think of anyone who stands up for Caitlin Clark, that should say it all. That should say it all. If you're basically saying that you are a fucking traitor for standing up for a specific player, that just shows how Caitlin Clark's viewed as subhuman by the league, by players in this league. And I can guarantee you there are players that view Caitlin Clark as subhuman. I mean that. And the media is doing fuck all to help her.